Hi, I'm Laura. In this video, I am creating a paper model of an animal cell. God put your body together with cells. They're so small, you can't see one without a microscope. But you're made of all kinds of cells: skin cells, muscle cells, nerve cells, blood cells. How many cells do you think a human has? Well, everyone has a different number, but the average for an adult is 30 trillion. That's 30 with 12 zeros. Amazing! Let's make a model of one. To make an animal cell model, you'll first purchase the printable from fanfaron.etsy.com. After your purchase, usually within a minute or two, you'll receive an email with a link to download your file. I'd suggest you print on thick paper such as cardstock rather than printer paper. You can choose what color to print on. An interesting thing about animal cells is that most don't have color. Scientists have to use dyes to stain them in order to see them through a microscope. So you can choose any you'd like, but you might stay away from green. It reminds me of a plant cell. Grab some scissors, a glue stick, and some markers or colored pencils. You might also find tape to be helpful. We'll start by making the plasma membrane that surrounds the cell. Cut on all the black dashed lines. Unlike plant cells, animal cells don't have a rigid cell wall. They vary in shape: round, oval, irregular. This is the oval cell. I'm also including a circle base in the printable, so choose whichever you like. The directions will be the same for both. Be sure you cut out this label. Cut around the outside of the plasma membrane sides. I'm going to show you a little trick to make this cutting easier. Cut on the black dashed line through the middle to separate these two pieces. Then fold backward on the gray dotted line. Be sure to fold carefully so the pieces will fit together well. Then cut out the little triangles. This is going to make tabs for you to glue the sides to the base of the plasma membrane. Repeat this process for the second piece. Now we'll glue the sides together in preparation for putting them on the base. Look for the gray line here. Put glue between the gray line and the edge. Glue the other side piece on top. Use the end right next to the tabs. You can add a small piece of tape to be sure these stay together. Next, flip the side piece over. Put glue on 4 or 5 tabs. Slide the tabs under the base against the edge and press down firmly to help the glue adhere. Continue to put glue on the tabs and press them under the base until you've gone all the way around the cell. There will be a little spot where the sides overlap. Glue them together and add tape if needed. Check to see if, like me, you have some tabs that didn't quite stick. Add a little more glue. Now attach the plasma membrane label to the inside. Write your name on the title, and then you get to color all the parts inside the cell. Again, most of these parts don't actually have a color. Scientists have to stain them to see them in the microscope. The exception is the mitochondria. They're kind of an orange, red, brownish sort of color. As I mentioned earlier, there are a few cells that have color because they have melanin in them. It's a pigment. And your irises of your eyes have color. And your red blood cells, they got that name for a reason. The hemoglobin inside makes them red. When you get to the nucleus, you may want to identify its components or parts. If so, underline the name on the label with the same color you used to color that part. I just colored the nucleolus a dark blue, and I'm going to color the nucleoplasm a lighter blue. You may not be learning about all the parts of the animal cell that I've included, particularly the bonus items. Just color the items that you want to include. Cut out the cell parts that you are using by cutting on the black dashed lines. To put each of the parts together, you're going to fold backwards on the gray dotted line. For the nucleus, if you've labeled its parts, glue the label here. Now there are 2 parts to each base. You're going to put glue on one and attach it to the other. Continue folding on each of the gray dotted lines and gluing for each part. It's helpful to stick a pencil or the ends of the scissors into the triangle to help get the base pieces to stick together. Before you put the parts in the cell, glue on the title. I prefer to attach it opposite from the plasma membrane label. Next, set the parts inside the cell. The nucleus is typically in the center. It is surrounded by the ER, both rough and smooth. Also near the nucleus is the centrosome, with the centrioles in the center. A cell only has one nucleus, unless it's in the middle of dividing into 2 identical cells. Pretty cool process called mitosis. There is one Golgi apparatus, one centrosome, and a pair of centrioles. But there could be 1,000 to 2,000 mitochondria. There could also be several hundred lysosomes, several small vacuoles. Feel free to print extra pages and add more if you want to. Probably not 1,000. When you've placed everything where you think you'd like it to go, glue it down. If you need help remembering what's what, check the terms and definitions pages. Thanks for joining me.